Good afternoon. We have with us today Mrs. Nirmala Sitharaman, Minister of State for Commerce and Industry. Mrs. Sitharaman will be talking to us about some of the recent political developments. Ms. Sitharaman, thank you for agreeing to talk to us. It's now 1 year almost since Mr. Modi assumed power, and there is a prevalent opinion that the surge in optimism that was witnessed in the first few months has waned just that wee bit in the last few weeks and couple of months. How would you answer that?
I'm not sure if it has waned. Optimism was very high, and it is high even now. Of course, there was an expectation of rapid change, very quick change at all levels. But what I would say is the government has been working, and there's a great deal of transparency with which this government is showing that it is taking efforts at various levels. So naturally, when you're expecting rapid, quick changes, we are going with a long haul in mind, with the changes which have to be brought in at various levels in mind. Changes that we are trying to bring in are at various levels, and also ensuring that deep-seated lethargy, some deadwood which lies at various levels, are all got to be removed. So yes, if it is possible to have had a magic wand to bring in that change, we would have loved to do it. But without trying to score a political point, the paralysis of the last 5 years at least is so deep-seated that efforts are being made at various levels, and many of which are not palpable outside, and probably because of that there is a sense that it could be faster than what it is now. But I can assure you, the effort which is going from the government side to change a lot of things, to bring in ease of doing business, to bring in a change in the mindset of people in government itself, that we are facilitators and not regulators, is being earnestly done, and sooner we'll see a lot of good change.
Your own party member, Mr. Arun Shourie, had a few questions to ask on the performance of the government in the first year. How do you react to those, should I say charges, should I say comments against the government?
I respect Arun Shourie ji. He's a scholar, a journalist who went into the rigor of researching, and who subjected his arguments to a lot of scrutiny because he was able to substantiate his arguments with a lot of fact-based answers. And that's where the USP of Shourie has been and continues to be. And therefore, I wouldn't undermine anything that he said by saying, oh no, you can't criticize the government. Very welcome to criticize. But I would have honestly wanted him to have a lot more facts in his hand, a lot more information in his hand, and a lot more looking into what actually the government is doing, rather than, I think, what he's done is to feel what is happening through the reports which are coming out, and not really going into the details. So, like for instance, if I have to take the typical argument that he put forth, saying, these are all headlines making, steps, and the figures which are coming out are all hype. That hurt me. The figures are not generated by Mr. Modi. The figures are not generated by me or by my party. These are figures which are generated by institutions within the government, but which are very autonomous, which literally do it as a matter of routine and as a matter of professional. Now, if these are the figures based on which most of us plan, industry plans, government plans, Niti Aayog would also share the data, how could we call them as hype? And to say, oh no, actually it is not so. Are we saying inflation is not really brought down? Inflation has remained completely under control for more than now 7-8 months, which in the previous regime, mind you, did not even show a sign to dip even 1 month. And we continued living under high inflation, which was absolutely inflexible for months on end, for years on end. And we said, oh my God, what is this inflationary impact? But today we've shown through the steps that we've taken. You may say that crude oil prices have been internationally coming down, it's come as a blessing for you, whatever be it. But today we are showing that we are able to keep inflation down. All right, production, exports can be even better. But the fact remains, domestically, we have brought the economy back on rails. It can move faster is a different argument. But to say that the data itself is a high made me feel a bit sad, because Shourie is somebody who knows the difference between what we generate or what anybody else generates as different from what the CSO would generate. So I felt let down by that. And similarly to also say, oh no, the party is run by 3 people. We are a party in power today, which means we are the government. And we being in the government, now we have not just got to be serving for people who voted us, but we have to serve for all the countrymen. And if the leader in the Lok Sabha, who's the Prime Minister, the leader in the Rajya Sabha, Arun Shourie, who's the Finance Minister, works together with the President, Amit Shah, what prey is wrong in that? To say, he didn't use the word, of course the anchor put the word into his mouth by saying Trimurti, but if as a party in power, the leader in the 2 houses, together with the president of the party, if they do take a cognizance of what is the party's agenda, what is wrong in it? So somewhere I felt he could have given us more time, he could have taken more information from every possible other source, and then come to a conclusion of what the government is up to.
Do you think his criticism is linked to certain disappointments personally, that he has not been accorded a position that he might have expected in government?
I want to believe that's not true. Even if I don't know if it is true, but I would want to believe that it's not so.